there, my beautiful light-filled friends. It's your girl, Sunshine, and you've tuned into another soul energizing episode of Energize Your Passion, your safe space for deep conversations, uplifting energy, and all the realness you need to power your day and fuel your heart. Today's episode, whew, it's a big one. We're talking about something we all need but don't always know how to build: resilience. I mean, how do we keep showing up with love and hope when the world around us feels so uncertain? Here's the truth: life will always have ups and downs, but resilience, that's your superpower. That's your spark that says, I may bend, but I will not break. And even more than that, it's the part of you that grows through what you've gone through. We'll explore what resilience really means, how to build it in practical ways, how to use your community, how to keep your emotions balanced, and how to rise, shine, and thrive no matter what's going on around you. Of course, we've got some great listener stories sprinkled throughout because y'all are amazing and your journeys deserves to be heard. So grab your favorite cozy drink, take a deep breath, and let's dive in. You ready? Let's go. Segment 1: Redefining Resilience. It's not just bouncing back. All right, family. Let's get into the heart of it. When you hear the word resilience, what comes to mind? Come on. What comes to mind? Maybe you think of bouncing back after something knocks you down. That's a good start. But today, we're going to expand that definition together because resilience is not just about snapping back like a rubber band. It's deeper, more soulful, more you. It's giving yourself permission to break down, but not give up. It's knowing that even in the middle of the mess, and it's a mess out there, your spirit still has something to offer the world. And guess what? That counts. That's powerful. Let's take a minute to break this down a bit more. You've probably heard it or lived it. You're so strong, and sometimes it feels like a compliment, but other times it can feel like pressure, like you're not allowed to struggle, like your strength is only measured by how quietly you endure. Let's rewrite that narrative. True resilience is not silent suffering, it's intentional healing. It's choosing to get back up with softness. It's learning to rest when you're tired. Ask for help when you're overwhelmed. And say no when something isn't serving your peace. It's not about pretending you're okay. It's about knowing that you will be, even if you're not right now. Let me tell you about Jasmine. She wrote in and shared how she used to define resilience as staying busy. After losing her job unexpectedly during a company merger, she jumped right into planning the next step, updating her resume, applying for 30 jobs a day, pretending like everything was fine. But one night, she broke down crying in her car after getting a rejection email. She said, Sunshine, I realized I wasn't giving myself space to grieve. I thought I had to fix it right away. Jasmine finally gave herself a week to rest, reflect, and breathe. She journaled, she cried. She even took a solo trip to the lake. And it was during that quiet moment, watching the water ripple, that she said to herself, I'm not broken. I'm just growing. Now, she's working in a role that lights her up, and she says the key to bouncing forward was honoring her feelings instead of suppressing them. Let's just pause here and say this: resilience is a journey, not a flip of a switch. It doesn't matter how slowly you go. You don't have to have it all figured out. What matters is that you're willing to take one small step towards healing, even if it's messy, even if it's scary, even if it's slow. Sometimes that step looks like taking a walk around the block, or talking to someone you trust, or just saying out loud, I'm not okay right now. And hey, that's okay. You're human. Give yourself grace. Micaiah wrote in from Ohio and shared something that hit home for so many of us. After a breakup that came out of nowhere, he felt totally thrown off course. His plans for the future, marriage, a family, the whole dream, gone in a heartbeat. He tried to be strong, keep working, distract himself, act unfazed, but underneath, he was numb. One day, a friend invited him to a local community group for men navigating emotional healing. Micaiah said he almost didn't go. He thought, what can a bunch of strangers do for me? But that first meeting, it cracked him open. He heard stories that mirrored his own. He cried, he shared, he listened. And he realized that resilience didn't mean doing it alone. It meant opening up. He said, the moment I let others in was the moment I started to heal. Now Micaiah's mentoring young men in his neighborhood, helping them talk through their emotions and grow through their own heartbreak. So here's what we're walking away with from this first segment. Resilience isn't about pretending you're unshakable. It's about allowing yourself to feel and still choosing to move forward. You don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to have it all together. Healing is strength. Asking for help is strength. Slowing down is strength. You still with me? Good, because we've only just begun. Up next, we're going deeper into the practical stuff. How to build resilience through your daily routines and mindset shifts. Let's go, fam. Segment 2. Tools that ground you. Everyday habits that build inner strength. Welcome back, my beautiful people. If segment 1 helped you redefine what resilience really means, this segment is all about how we start living it. One habit, one choice, one moment at a time. Because here's the thing. Resilience doesn't just show up when life gets hard. It builds in the small, quiet choices we make every single day. It's like a muscle. We strengthen it with consistent effort. And the best part, it doesn't have to be fancy. In fact, it's often the simplest tools that becomes the most powerful. Let's talk about some of these daily habits and mindset shifts that can truly help you build that kind of inner strength that holds steady when the storm hits. You don't have to be a morning person to benefit from this one, but how you start your day absolutely sets the tone of how you move through uncertainty, whether it's 5 minutes or 15. Give yourself space in the morning to check in with yourself. That might look like a few deep breaths before getting out of bed, writing down 3 things you're grateful for, stretching and saying an affirmation like, I am safe, I am growing, I am enough. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's about choosing a foundation of peace before the chaos of the day begins. Resilience starts with presence, and presence starts with the moment you open your eyes. Tasha from Phoenix shared this sweet ritual she calls her cup of calm. Every morning, before she checks her phone or talks to anyone, she makes her tea, sits by the window, and writes one page in her journal. Just a brain dump, she says. It's like I empty the clutter in my mind before the world fills it up again. When her husband was laid off and their family finances got rocky, she said her cup of calm routine was her anchor. It didn't fix everything, she said, but it reminded me every day that I still had power over how I responded. That 5 minutes saved me more than once. Isn't that beautiful? So much of life is outside of our control. Job loss, unexpected news, other people's choices. But what we can control is how we respond. That means learning to redirect your energy where it actually makes a difference. You can't control what happens, but you can control what you focus on, what you feed your mind. Hello, social media detox. How you treat your body, who you let speak into your life. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that brings me peace or clarity? That's a resilient mindset right there. Ray, who listens from Chicago, wrote in with a strategy that helped him through a season of anxiety during the pandemic. Every night before bed, he writes down 3 wins from the day. Every time they're big, like landing a client. Other times they're small, like making his bed or texting a friend back. But the point is, he ends each day focusing on what went right, not what went wrong. Ray told us it helped me feel like I still had a sense of progress, even when everything felt stuck. That's a tool, y'all. Simple, real, powerful. Life throws us curveballs, but your mind is the lens through which you interpret those moments. Let's say something goes wrong. You miss a deadline, a relationship ends, or a plan falls apart. Your first thought might be, I failed. But what if you paused and said instead, this didn't work out, but I'm learning something from it. Now, this isn't about ignoring pain. We're not pretending everything's fine when it's not. We're simply choosing to believe that something meaningful can still grow from what went wrong. That's resilience in action. When life gets stressful, your body holds onto that tension. Movement, any kind of movement, is one of the fastest ways to shift that stuck energy. You don't need a gym membership or a strict workout plan. Dance in your kitchen. Walk barefoot in the grass. Do a few stretches at your desk. Even 10 minutes of movement can shift your mood and open your mind to new perspectives. When you move your body with love, you remind yourself, I am alive. I am still here, and I can keep going. This segment has been about practical power, the kind of habits and routines that create an internal safety net when the world feels uncertain. Let's recap a few golden gems. 1. Morning intention sets your emotional tone. 2. Focus on what you can control. 3. Celebrate your small wins daily. 4. Reframe challenges as lessons, not punishments. And 5. Move your body with love. It tells your mind we're safe. The point is not perfection, is consistency. Keep showing up for yourself in small ways, and your resilience will grow roots deeper than you ever imagined. You feeling this? I hope you are, because next we're diving into something that makes all of this even more powerful: the people you surround yourself with. Segment 3: You don't have to do this alone. The role of community in resilience. All right, family, pull in close for this one. We've talked about redefining resilience and building powerful daily habits. Now we're going to get into something that truly changes the game: community. Because no matter how strong you are, how solid your morning routine is, or how great your mindset is, there will be moments when you feel like you're sinking. That's when you need something outside of yourself. You need connection, support, people who will lift you when you forget how to lift yourself. Let's say it together: you do not have to do this alone. There's this myth that strong people don't ask for help, that if you're resilient, you should figure it out on your own. But real talk, resilience is intertwined with connection. Just like plants grow better when they're rooted together in a garden, people thrive when they're surrounded by support. Whether that's friends, family, mentors, therapists, or online communities, you need a crew. Not just a hype you up, but to hold space for your pain, your growth, and your healing. Elena from Atlanta shared something powerful with us. She said she used to isolate herself anytime things got tough. I thought that if I just stayed busy, I wouldn't have to burden anyone with my struggles. But when her mom got sick and she found herself spiraling with anxiety, one of her friends invited her to a women's healing circle at a local park. Just a few women sitting in a circle with candles and cocoa, talking about life. She went, she cried, she listened, and something shifted. I didn't even talk much that first time, she said, but just being seen, being witnessed without judgment made me feel whole again. Now, that same group meets monthly. They call themselves the Soul Sisters. That's the power of community, y'all. Sometimes you don't need answers, you just need to be held. Now, I know what you might be thinking. But sunshine, what if I don't have anyone right now? First of all, let me say this: I see you. I've been there. Second, your people are out there. But sometimes you have to step outside your comfort zone to find them. That might mean joining a local class or meetup based on your interests. Volunteering. Service has a magical way of connecting souls. Starting a group yourself, even if it's just two people at first. Being brave enough to reach out to that friend you haven't talked to in a while. Start small. Be open. Take the risk of being known. That's how community begins. Devin from Portland shared this heartwarming story. After losing his wife unexpectedly, he fell into a deep fog of grief. He stopped going out, stopped seeing friends, stopped doing anything but working and sleeping. One morning, he wandered into this local coffee shop he and his wife used to go to. The barista remembered him and said, "Hey, I haven't seen you in here in a while. Want to sit with us?" Turns out there was a group of folks, young and old, who met at that coffee shop every Thursday morning just to talk about life. He hesitated, then said yes. He says now that coffee crew saved my life. Just knowing there were a chair at the table with my name on it gave me a reason to get up and go again. Y'all, sometimes the healing doesn't come from big dramatic moments. It comes from small, consistent love. Let's flip the script now. Maybe you are the strong one, the one others lean on, the one holding it down. I want to remind you that your presence matters too. And sometimes being that safe space for someone else will also heal a piece of you. Check in on your people. Ask real questions. Send that thinking of you text. Invite someone to a walk or a meal. No agenda. And don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm struggling too. Honest connection builds unshakable community. This segment was all about tapping into the power of community and being part of that power for others. Here are some truths to carry with you. You were never meant to do life alone. Your healing can be supported by others, and that's okay. Community isn't just found, it's built. Even simple connections can change someone's life, including your own. It's okay to lean, and it's okay to be leaned on. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. You just have to be willing to show up and receive. Whew. Take a deep breath with me. Because next, we're talking about how to protect your emotional energy. Because being resilient doesn't mean burning yourself out, trying to be everything for everyone. Segment 4, protecting your peace, emotional boundaries, and self-compassion. You've made it this far into the episode, and let me just say, you're doing the work. You're showing up, reflecting, feeling, and that, my friend, is part of the journey towards thriving through uncertain times. Now let's talk about something super important that doesn't get nearly enough love. Protecting your peace. Let me say that again. Protecting your peace. Because here's the truth. Resilience isn't just about pushing through. It's also about pulling back. It's about knowing when to rest, when to say no, and when to lovingly walk away from things that drain you. Let's breathe into that truth. Emotional boundaries are your invisible fences. They let people know where you end and where they began. They say, number 1, I love you, but I can't carry that with you right now. Number 2, your emotions are valid, but they're not mine to fix. Number 3, I deserve to be spoken with kindness, even when you're upset. And the most powerful one, number 4, I don't need to explain my no. It's enough. When you don't have strong boundaries, you're like an emotional sponge. You absorb everyone else's energy, their fears, their moods, their chaos, until you're carrying weight that was never yours to hold. But with boundaries, you get to protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. But with boundaries, you get to protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Maria from New Jersey wrote to us about something she called her guilt reflex. She said she used to say yes to everything: extra work projects, family favors, late night friend calls, because she didn't want to disappoint anyone. But deep down, she was exhausted, burnout, numb. One day, her therapist asked, What would happen if you disappointed someone and they got over it? And that lit a fire in her. She started setting tiny boundaries, like turning off her phone after 9 p.m., saying no without over explaining, and not jumping in to solve everyone's drama. She told us, I realized I could still love people and not sacrifice myself. That was revolutionary. Boundaries are love in action for yourself and others. Now, let's talk about the flip side, how you treat yourself when life gets messy. Because listen, we're quick to give grace to others, but when it comes to ourselves, whew, we can be so harsh. Self compassion is saying to yourself, hey, it's okay to be human. It's holding yourself with kindness on the days when, number one, you don't show up how you wanted to. Number two, you made a mistake. Number three, you fell back into an old pattern. And number four, you feel scared or stuck. Instead of spiraling into self blame, self compassion says, that was hard, but I'm still here. I'm still growing. I'm still worthy. That's resilience. Jordan from Salt Lake City shared something simple but soul shifting. After going through a breakup that shattered his confidence, he started doing something his mom used to do: mirror talk. Every morning, he looked into the mirror and says three things to himself. Number one, I love you. Number two, I forgive you. And number three, I believe in you. He told us at first it felt weird, but after a few weeks, I started believing the words, and they become my shield when doubt creeps in. Let that sink in. Your voice can be your best friend or your harshest critic. Choose love. This segment was tender but real because protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's sacred. Here's what we're carrying forward. Number one, emotional boundaries help you love without losing yourself. Number two, no is a full sentence. Number three, you are not responsible for managing everyone else's emotions. Number four, self compassion is a daily choice, not a one time event. And number five, the way you talk to yourself matters. Make it gentle, make it true. Resilience means showing up for yourself, even when no one else does. So now, we've talked about what resilience look like in your mind, your habits, your community, and your energy. You ready to pull all of this together? Because up next, our final segment is going to tie the whole journey into one beautiful soul hugging bow. Segment 5, the resilience blueprint, putting it all together. All right, beautiful soul. We've been on a journey together. We've unpacked what resilience really means, how it lives in your daily choices, your relationships, your thoughts, and your peace. Now we're going to create something powerful, your personal blueprint for thriving, even when life gets uncertain, messy, and downright chaotic. Because the truth is, the will keep shifting. Life will throw curveballs, but with this blueprint, you'll know exactly how to catch your breath, center yourself, and rise. Let's recap and build from the ground up. From segment 1, redefining resilience, we kick things off by breaking down the myth that resilience isn't about being tough. unbothered, or emotionless. You learn that resilient isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's okay to feel, to cry, to pause. Those are signs of strength, not weakness. Every time you get back up, even with a shaky heart, you're proving to yourself how deeply capable you are. Listener stories like Sam's and Brianna's reminded us that even in fear and uncertainty, our softness can still be our power. So your blueprint begins with this foundational truth. I do not have to be unbreakable to be strong. I only have to keep showing up. From segment 2, daily habits that build inner strength. Next, we got practical because while mindset is key, consistent action is where the transformation lives. You discover that, number one, small habits create big changes, especially under pressure. Number two, things like mindful mornings, intentional journaling, and gratitude aren't just self care trends, they're daily anchors. And number three, movement, nature, and rest aren't luxuries, they're necessities. We heard from Ashley and Marcus, who showed us how simple choices help them rebuild after loss and burnout. So, the next layer of blueprint is about your rituals, the daily things that keep you grounded. I will create moments every day to return to myself. My healing is in my habits. From segment 3, you don't have to do this alone. Then we leaned into the soul truth. Resilience grows in community. We remembered, number one, it's brave to ask for help. Number two, vulnerability connects us, it doesn't weaken us. Number three, whether it's a group chat, a circle of friends, or your local coffee crew, people need people. Elena and Devin's story reminded us that healing often happens when someone simply says, "Hey, I see you. Come sit with us." So, your blueprint also includes relationship resilience, the strength that comes from being seen, heard, and loved. I will reach out. I will let others support me. I will belong, not just survive. From segment 4, protecting your peace. Then we got quiet and real about what it means to guard your emotional energy. You learned, number one, boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to healthier relationships. Number two, saying no can be holy. Number three, the way you talk to yourself shapes your world. Maria and Jordan reminded us that compassion towards yourself isn't optional, it's life giving. So, the fourth element of your blueprint, emotional sovereignty. I will protect my energy and speak to myself with love. My peace is my priority. And now, the blueprint in action. Let's pull all these truths together. When life gets uncertain, overwhelming, or just plain hard, your resilience blueprint says, I will pause and breathe. I will remember that my softness is not my weakness. I will lean into the daily habits that bring me back to myself. I will reach out to my people and let them reach back. I will protect my emotional space like it's sacred. I will love myself even when it's a mess. And I will keep rising again and again because I'm worth it. That's not just surviving, my friends. That's thriving. Let's close this segment with two short, sweet stories that feel like hugs from the universe. Nina from Texas sent this. I used to think I had to do something big to be strong, but then I realized getting out of bed on a hard day, that's strength. Cooking myself a good meal, that's love. Smiling at my reflection, that's healing. Resilience is in the quiet victories. Anthony from Chicago wrote, my whole life changed when I stopped trying to be who everyone needed me to be and started becoming who I needed me to be. It was scary, but now I'm living for me. That's the most resilient thing I've ever done. Whew. Let those land, fam. Building resilience, how to thrive in uncertain times, wasn't just a title. It's a journey. We broke down old definitions and rebuilt new ones that fit the real you. We got practical, spiritual, emotional, and everything in between. You now know that resilience is number one, feeling everything, but still choosing love. Number two, making small moves every day that bring you back home to yourself. Number three, finding strength in connection. Number four, saying yes to yourself and no to what steals your peace. And number five, trusting that you already have everything you need inside of you to rise. You are not broken. You're becoming. And the fact that you showed up today, that tells me you're already well on your way. If this episode spoke to you, and I pray that it did, if you felt even one moment of peace, clarity, or encouragement, please do me a favor. Leave a 5-star review. Share this episode with someone you love. Tag us on social media at EnergizeURPassion and tell us your favorite takeaway. Subscribe so you never miss an episode because this journey is just getting started. And if you got a story you want to share, just like our amazing listeners today, hit me up. Your story might be the spark someone else needs to keep going. I'll leave you with this. Resilience isn't a destination. It's a rhythm, a dance, a sacred practice of showing up again and again with your heart open wide and your feet rooted in truth. And baby, you're doing beautifully. Keep going, keep rising, and never forget you're not alone. This is Energize Your Passion, and I'm your girl Sunshine, sending you all the light, love, and strength you need. Stay passionate, stay powerful, and always protect your peace. This is Sunshine, signing off.